God damn show on air. And I'm Cole Clayton, and with me I have my lovely sister Ruby Red. How you doing?
I'm doing good today. It's real hot outside.
It is, right?
What are you talking
It's
about?
like-
You're in Ohio. What's the weather up there?
Man, all I know is this isn't the same. I don't know, like 85 now in 2024 is not the same 85 that it was in like the mid 2000s when George Bush was president. Okay.
I
When
think
George
they're
Bush was
lying.
president, when Obama was president, the temperature was different. Okay.
I think they're lying to us. I think it's like really high and they're just giving us false readings so we
They
don't freak
gotta be,
out.
right?
Gotta be. Because let me tell you something. I think it says we're like 90, 95 degrees here. And don't get me wrong, that's fucking hot, right? But I've never been so hot to a point where I couldn't just stand outside. I was outside talking to my coworker for not even 10 minutes, maybe like 6 or 7 minutes. And I literally told him, I'm sorry, I have to go inside. I feel like I'm fixing to pass out. Standing outside, not running, not walking, standing.
Being outside. Right.
Yeah.
And you've lost a bunch of weight recently, right?
Yeah, I actually lost like close to 30 pounds since January. So
Congratulations.
thank you so much. To be honest with you, I haven't like changed a whole lot. I eat the same things, just less of them. That's all it pretty much is.
That'll do it.
I did cut out soda. I will say I have maybe like one soda a day, which may sound like a lot to some people, but it was to a point where I was drinking like 5 or 6 of them bitches a day. I did not give a fuck.
Jesus.
But to be fair, in our defense,
And
I didn't have a fucking dark soda till I was like 13 years old.
why?
Our mom was not the type of because mom, she was always doing like something that in her defense, she always thought it was healthy, and it was, but we couldn't have soda until
She
we were
didn't
like
really do that to
teenagers.
me that much.
Well, yeah, she did because she said that she had you on like a tofu diet when you were really young.
Mm-hmm.
So she was always on like some sort of health kick, But the soda thing, I think, kind of fucked up because I didn't crave soda really. My
She
mom would
tried
let
to
us have
get me to try tofu one time, and I was like, "This is dumb. I'm not eating this." At like 7 years old. And
oh
then
my
another
god,
thing was, she tried to make us eat, have silk with our cereal, soy milk, you know. And I think Carson may have been like 3 or 4 years old, and he literally took the bowl and threw it at mom.
I've never heard that
That dude was
story.
gross,
Oh my
bro.
god. I've
She
never heard
tried
that
to get
story.
us to do healthy stuff.
She did. To be fair, she
That
did.
didn't mean she had us on a diet.
Yeah, no. I mean, she did let us have like lemonade and Sprite only on like special occasion. If there was a party, we could have a Sprite or a lemonade. But I didn't have a dark soda till I was probably 13. And then I wasn't really drinking them on the regular until I moved in with you because that motherfucking vending machine down that hallway had me had me in a chokehold with that Dr. Pepper. Thank God they took the Dr. Pepper out of it because I was buying a soda every day up there.
Bro, the price on the vending machine has gone up twice in the
I
past 6 months.
saw that.
Oh
I
yeah,
want to visit.
it went up again since you came up here. Yeah,
Yeah, people are broke.
I was pissed off. Yeah,
That's fucked up. So yeah, now I only have like maybe one soda, and it's like right when I'm leaving work, and like most of it gets like watered down, and I don't drink half of it anyway. So I'm really just drinking a lot of lemon water and Gatorade. I fucks with some Gatorade.
if you like Gatorade, you should go for Pedialyte. It's better for you.
But it's gross.
No, it's not. It's so good.
I've had it. It's gross.
It's so good. I love it.
Did mom ever tell you there was one time that she tried to make macaroni and cheese with Ensure?
No.
We were in a bind and like we didn't have no milk and something was always wrong with one of her fucked up ass vehicles. So it's not like she could just go get some. So she was like, okay, well, we have all this Ensure, because our sister had a feeding tube. So she just had like fuck ton of like Ensure laying around. She was like, let's try it. Bro, I didn't even taste it. I was like, nope. Not even gonna try it. We tried to give it to the dog. The dog wouldn't eat it. How bad does food have to be for a dog to
The
not
mac
eat
and
it?
cheese? Dog was like, nah, I'm good,
Mm-mm.
bro. Dog food.
Yep. And did you know that if your dog is like only liking human food, if it's become accustomed to human food due to like being, you know, a street dog or whatever, you can get them to eat their dog food by pouring coconut oil on it. They will eat that shit up.
I don't really feed my dog. When I have a dog, I don't really feed it dog food that much. Unless it's kind of just, I don't know. Rarely. I usually, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just make an extra serving of whatever I'm usually making, but in like a safer way for a dog to eat it, you know? 'Cause to
Mhm.
me, it's like your dog is a part of your family. You know what I mean? Like, why are
Right.
you feeding this shittier quality? But a lot of times, what I like to do when I had JJ, um, the Rottweiler I had,
I
um,
remember
I
doing
fed her like chopped chicken and like carrots and stuff like that, like vegetables and chicken. So
Well,
that's
that's
why
good
she was
for her.
fucking. That's why she was like a made of muscle, bro.
And I bet you her coat was like super shiny and stuff too.
Mm.
Well, you're supposed to give the dog like protein and stuff like that, but you're not supposed to be giving them a whole lot of like bread or milk or
Yeah, I
like
didn't really feed it. Like if I made like a cheeseburger for dinner, usually I would just make a burger patty or whatever, just crushed up
yeah,
meat or just chopped up ground beef with like onions and stuff in it for her.
yeah. I spoke to the craziest motherfucker yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, bruh. So I'm at work.
Before you start, don't you
Mm.
hate it when you're like halfway through mom's on? Don't you hate it when somebody starts a conversation with you and you're already kind of reluctant to talk to them because you know like people,
Me
and
all the
then
time. Me
yeah, and
all the
you're like you're about I don't know like 45 seconds in, you're like this person is nuts. What did I get myself into? And you're like, oh, actually, I didn't get myself into this. This was non-consensual. Like,
Literally. So this guy comes in, and he comes in all the time just to get like a cup of ice. And he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like he had a little bit of like an issue with like social skills, but he was very nice and very friendly. And then all of a sudden he started talking to me, and he started, bro. I don't even know where to start. He started talking about the craziest shit. He was like, "I'm a real life Superman," and I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "I'm a real life Superman. Like I can jump off walls and I can like fly and stuff." And I'm like, "Huh?" And then he starts
okay,
talking. He's like,
LeBron
"Yeah."
James.
No, like he was for real in the midst of like a psychotic break because he started telling me like he's got the cure for cancer and that he's been abducted by aliens and they look just like humans and like all types of crazy shit. And I'm in the middle of fucking a diner.
Did Terrence Howard come through? Is that who it was? Terrence Howard? No, do you
No,
know who that is?
he was like almost homeless.
You know who Terrence Howard is?
Yeah, I know who Terrence Howard is.
Did you listen to the podcast, the Joe Rogan experience this past week with Terrence Howard? Terrence Howard has convinced himself that the formula to gravity is wrong. What else? Oh, that 1 times 1 is 2. Um, somehow he's arguing with Neil deGrasse Tyson about the laws of physics, and that he remembers being in the womb and being born and them cutting the umbilical cord and everything. Like this dude, like, I mean, 45 seconds into the fucking podcast, he's talking about, oh, I remember being born. I thought this was my friend. Later, after I was born, I was told it was my hand. I'm like, bro,
What kind of drug are these celebrities on? I want to know.
this dude's just crazy, my man.
But anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much it. Like he was talking to me for like a good 15 minutes, and like as soon as he left, I looked at my coworker and I was like, "Fuck all y'all," because why did none of you catch the hint that I did not want to be talking to them. Why did none of you come up to me like, hey, we need your help with this? Can you come? They're like, oh, we thought you were having a good time talking to him. And I was like, I don't have a good time talking to anybody.
Yeah, when do you have a good time talking to people?
Never. And they were like, oh, well, we couldn't tell. I was like, yeah, because I'm good at faking. Because I'm good at my job, motherfucker. Don't ever, like, I need someone to get me out of that. Because it kind of got to the point where I was seriously considering, like, this guy needs to be in, like, a mental hospital.
You were like, I just didn't want to get murdered. I was trying to be nice.
It was kind of getting to that point because he was also kind of like hinting, because I said something about having a boyfriend, and he was like, oh, you have a boyfriend? Don't tell me that. Bro, I will start being the rudest bitch I swear to God, if you keep talking to me about these fucking aliens and you being Superman, I'm gonna start talking about I don't believe in Superman and I got some fucking kryptonite in my backpack. So keep it up. Keep it up. I'm a beacon for weird motherfuckers.
As a woman, shouldn't you be used to a dude walking up to you and being like, hey, you want to go out? Essentially. Like, now that's obviously the quickest route. I'm sure you would prefer that. So you could just get right to the point so you can say no. But yeah, essentially they're schmoozing you over. Isn't that a normal thing?
No, see, I'm kind of still confused, I guess, because I just think people want to have a conversation. No. And apparently that's not the case.
How many times has a man told you to shut up?
To shut up?
Yeah, just stop talking. Just, hey, you ever
not
just chill, sit down?
Maybe just like my brothers, not other dudes.
Your boyfriend don't ever be like, hey, we just chill out. You just.
No, I have to tell him that. I'm like, you stop talking over the music.
What I'm trying to say is most dudes don't like to have conversations with women. Okay? So the only reason we do it is so that we can ask you out. We don't actually want to have a conversation with you. That's all made up. That's all manufactured. So if a man comes up to talk to you and he has no reason to talk to you, it's not because he wants to talk to you. I promise you that much.
I don't want to talk to them either. So the feeling's mutual. The only difference is I don't want to fuck them.
No, I'm not saying to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying he's trying to ask you out. 90% of the time. If he doesn't actually have a reason to talk to you, like, hey, my steak's fucked up, or like my car's broken down, like whatever. If there's not an actual point to it, he's trying to ask you out.
That's bullshit, dude. I fucking hate people. I hate people so much. It's a problem, honestly.
Mom says I listen to too much Joe Rogan. I sit in the car for fucking 8 hours a day. What do you expect? And then checking out babes. Feel free to let your guard down.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what it means, bro. What are you talking about? But anyway, yeah, man, I'm sick of just trying to have to like, and you know what? A lot of it is I kind of, because I'm very nice, I'm polite to people, and I'm not very like assertive. Like in my head, I am, but not so much like in real life. So when people are talking, I kind of just be like, really?
So like made up. You're made up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like not giving a fuck at all. And then like this dude started talking about crazy shit, and I'm just like, why are you talking to me about this right now? Like, what part of me? And I think it's just because I let people talk at me. I don't necessarily have to have people talking with me. Like, we're not holding a conversation. You're just speaking at me, and I'm pretending to listen, and I'm pretending to give a fuck.
Dude, I'm two different people when I'm in a different, like, when I'm in a bad mood, I'm a whole different person. Like, I'm two different kinds of people.
Me too. They call me Patricia.
Like, if I'm in an okay mood and nothing's bothering me and nothing's going on and I'm not, like, in a hurry or something, if a person will walk up to me and try to have, like, I don't know, one of these, like, what do you call it, small talk conversations or whatever, I'll entertain it. But if I'm in a bad mood, I remember one time, you know how mom has, like, her ulcers?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I had to run into Burger King to grab her a cheeseburger because, like, that settles her ulcer. And she was like, it was bad. It was a bad one. And so I went into Burger King. I had already ordered. I ordered on the app. So, like, when we rolled up, I went inside and then I had to wait like 10 minutes because Burger King is Burger King. They haven't been a
Right.
decent quality company in probably 15 years, and then everybody forgets that, including myself. Um, and like I'm like I ordered a burger. Like I didn't order. I just like a plain, just like just one small burger. Like I don't know what's taking so long. You know what I mean? Put this in the
Yeah.
bag. And finally, this dude's like he's walking up to everybody and talking to him. This guy, right? And then I could see it. He's making his way towards me because now he's got his drink and I'm standing over by the fountain machine. And he like gets like in my grill and like point. I'm wearing a band tee. And I was like, I know that man. I went to go see. I was like, I immediately cut him. I was like, dude, does his face look like? Does this? Do I look like I'm in a mood to talk right now? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, be sorry over there.
Don't you hate those
Said that,
people?
dude.
No,
Huh?
I hate people
I
who
didn't
use like.
antagonize him. I told him to go away. If anything, I came off as the crazy person.
But the thing is, you're not the crazy one. Because people who use like societal standards to bother you piss me off, right? Because if someone's just walking up to you, like having a friendly conversation with everybody, that's cool, right? More than likely, the dude was either gonna ask you for money or try to sell you something. That's why people walk up to people and start random. Oh, hey, I know
I,
the what
I
the
think
fuck
he
is
was
that,
just.
dude?
I think he was just off. If I'm honest, and he was just being
You think
friendly or
so?
whatever.
You don't have to
Yeah,
be mean to people.
but I just wasn't in the mood. Like I had an aura about me. I felt like my face was all. I had my arms crossed. Like there was nothing about my body language that said approach me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like. And I'm a 6 foot tall, 250-pound man. You know what I mean? Like, why would you approach me anyway? Like, you know, like
That's a good question. But I hate when people like to finish the thought anyway, but when people kind of use societal standards to like walk up to you or like try to start a conversation with you because they know in their head, like, oh, you're not fixing to like yell at me or scream at me or tell me to go away because we're in public. So you have to be nice. You have to be polite to me. No, the fuck I don't.
no, I
No, the
don't.
fuck I don't. I don't know you people. I'll probably never see you motherfuckers again. I'm a polite person. Don't get me wrong. But you're not gonna fucking irritate me. And I'm not gonna fucking let you. Cause if you want to play the game, like I wake up every morning and try to rein in my bitchiness. Cause it's just seeping out of my pores, right? I will let this fucking monster out on you. And I will give you a verbal fucking lashing. You don't understand. I got a lot of material.
I feel like the nice guy is on the inside, and the mean person's on the outside. I'm mean on the outside. I'm nice on the inside because my initial reaction is to be a douche to people, and I have to force myself to be nice. You know what I mean? Like, or no, I have to drag the nice out of me. Like when I'm drinking, I'm the nicest person in the world. I'm friendly. I ask you about what's going on in your life. If you start telling me, I'll listen to the whole conversation. I can't even when I'm not drinking. I can't even focus on when people are talking to me most of the time. I can't. I don't even have the attention span for it. But when I'm drinking, I'm a totally different, chill, relaxed. I actually give a fuck about people. So I'm nice on the inside. I'm mean on the outside. You know.
Really? I'm kind of the
Yeah.
opposite of that. Like I'm nice on the outside, but I'm kind of mean on the inside. And someone told me this recently, and they're not wrong. One of my coworkers told me that I play Switzerland a lot, where I just like play both sides. Well, first of all, I don't give a fuck. So I'm gonna say what you want to hear because I don't feel like disagreeing with you, and then you disagreeing with me because I don't give a fuck, But also, I like to hear both sides and make my own opinion. So if someone comes up to me and is like, "Oh, did you hear about it?" No, I didn't hear it. Tell me. And someone else, "Oh, did you hear about it?" No, I didn't hear it. Tell me. Because I want to see what the fuck everyone else is saying. Because it's different shit most of the time.
Yeah, I want to get all the stories. I like gossip too. Not that I don't like to gossip. And what's that? What do I want to hear? I don't know. What do you want to hear? I don't like to gossip. I just like to hear it. I love it when people.
Me
Hey,
too.
yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Me
Okay. Yeah. Let's
too.
do this. Word.
And that's kind of what I had to tell my coworker because my coworker was saying in a way where she kind of didn't like it. She was like, "Well, you play Switzerland a lot," and I was like, "Yeah, I do because I don't like to stir up shit. So if you tell me something and someone else tells me something about you, I'm not gonna go back and tell you what they said. Just like I'm not gonna go back and tell them what you said because I'm not a pot stirrer. So I'll hear a lot from different people, but I don't voice my real opinion on things because I'm a bitch. And most of the time, I'm just going to be a bitch about it. So I kind of just like, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. And most of the time, I can see both sides. So it's hard for me to like say, oh, she was wrong on that because I can see it from both two different perspectives, honestly.
Mhm.
But I've always played Switzerland. I'm
I
neutral.
only play Switzerland. I'll immediately tell whoever I think is dumb is dumb. I'll be like, well, I'm on your side, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm not getting involved. Like, like I think you're right. I think you're the correct one. But I also tell them I'll be like, you're the wrong one. What?
Like the other day, I got a random ass phone call in the middle of work, and it was actually like my boss's boss's boss. And I have his phone number because like I've been working for him for a few years now, so I just call him like when shit's broken around the building. But he called me randomly in the middle of the day, and I was like, oh, well, let me go take this. He asked me, he was like, what do you think about so and so? What's your personal opinion on them as a manager? And I was like, whoa, this is
You're a
so out
manager?
of left field. Yeah, because I think what happened was the
When did you
person
become
had
a
put
manager?
in, well, they had put in like a slip to become a different manager. You know how like they have to go from like a unit to regional to district, whatever. She had put in a slip to become a different manager, like a higher up one. And they got a call and like get people's opinion about it for some reason. I don't know. So I guess she listed me as someone to call who would vouch for her. And I did. And I gave them my honest opinion, but it was just so like out of left field for me. Like, what's your honest opinion about them? Jesus Christ, don't fucking ask me that, bro. Like, I don't want to get into it, but I mean, I told the truth, and I do like that person as a manager, so I did vouch for her. But it was kind of just like, why the fuck do you care about my opinion? Who am I? I just work here. Don't leave it up to me. You can call some other people.
Bro, when did Subway just become like a mess?
Well, how much stuff did you have on your sandwich?
No more than I always get. But the last couple times I've gone to a Subway, everything just falls out of the sandwich.
Do you get your bread as regular bread, or do you get it toasted?
I just get regular bread.
Oh, see, I do the regular bread too. But if you want to avoid that, you should probably do it toasted.
I don't like toast.
That's fucking weird. Like that's just like you don't ever snack on like some buttered toast or some peanut butter toast. It's good, bro. You should try it. Just like, oh, I'm feeling hungry. Let me get a snack. Do some buttered toast. Oh my, oh god, that shit's delicious.
Even when I make like a breakfast sandwich, I only toast it on one side.
What kind of sandwich do you eat for breakfast? If you make a breakfast sandwich, what you making?
Sausage, egg, and cheese, maybe some hot sauce.
But how do you do your egg? Are you doing like a fried egg runny or
There's
like not
not a
runny?
way I won't eat an egg. It's really about what I'm in the mood for. I eat my egg anyway. Honestly, hard, over medium, over easy, sunny side up, scrambled,
Do you like egg
boiled,
salad?
poached. Yeah, I love eggs, dude. I love eggs so much.
Ugh. You know,
Everything.
I don't fuck with
I
eggs
like a
heavy.
nice, I like a nice Cobb salad with the boiled egg on it. I fucking love eggs, man.
So like I'm kind of weird on it, honestly. And you know what's funny? Like I loved eggs growing up, but it like here recently, eggs kind of been giving me a weird vibe. To be honest with you, I do work around eggs a lot, so that may be a part of it. But mom also couldn't stand eggs. She just didn't fuck with eggs at all.
Yeah,
So
well, I had gone a long time without eating eggs after I worked for Denny's for so long. Um, but I mean that was so long ago now. You know, that was like 10 years ago. So,
right.
but I just don't eat them all the time. But like I like when I say I love eggs, I mean that I like. There's not a way I won't eat an egg, but I don't eat eggs all the time. You know, I'm not always in the mood for them necessarily.
I only like see I like an omelet because something about an omelet literally just like changes the flavor of the egg. I like an omelet. I like deviled eggs. Boiled eggs, I'm a little
Oh,
different about.
I fuck up some deviled eggs, man.
I love some deviled eggs. Like you
I
can,
can sit
I'm
there.
not even gonna lie.
If there's deviled eggs at a party, you gotta watch me because I'll eat all of them. Like just sitting there, and I'll be like,
For real, for real.
"Where'd all the deviled eggs go?" I'm like I'm fucking the Godfather. Oh, they all recovered. And then they're like, there was 50 eggs. I was like, You
Not
should have
anymore.
made it up for everybody. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Like, but the thing is, I don't like egg salad though.
There's
I
something
think
wrong with you.
I think it's a textural thing, honestly. Something about the mushed up egg just like freaks me out. I gotta mush my own egg, first of all. Like you said, like I'll eat a boiled egg in a salad, but that's mostly because like the salad like kind of covers it. I'm really just eating an egg because I know it's healthy for me. I'm not eating it for the flavor. The only egg I eat for
I'm
the
not
flavor is
convinced
a
they're
deviled egg,
healthy for you.
an omelet, and honestly, scrambled eggs with cheese aren't so bad. Only every now and then though. But other than that, like the smell of eggs kind of bugs me. Like
A bad
salmonella
egg, yeah,
kind of
sure.
freaks me out.
A regular egg shouldn't have a smell.
But you want to know something? I never really fucked with chicken like that either. Something about like when you rip chicken up and it makes that noise. I'm like, ugh, get it the fuck away. And I think it stemmed from one time as a kid. He cooked some chicken with legs on the stove, and them bitches must not have been done because I started eating them and it was pink, and I fucking threw up so bad. And ever since then, me and chicken just ain't. I can do fried chicken. I can do chicken wings, but as far as like a
Chicken is the
baked
best.
chicken,
I love chicken, dude. Fried chicken.
fried
Friggin'
chicken's good.
Chicken cordon bleu, chicken nuggets.
And see, chicken nuggets.
Dino nuggies.
Bro, did you just hear some shit fall in my house? Shit just
I
falls
did.
in my house all the fucking time. There's a fucking ghost in here. I swear on God, there's a ghost in here. Fucking
Oh, your
swear.
boyfriend now knocking shit over?
No, he's at work right now.
Yeah, put him to work, chop chop.
Well, I mean, he's like older than you, so like he's been working longer than the both of us. He's kind of like conditioned to it. Like once you hit like 30 or 35, you're just conditioned to work, and it's not as hard anymore.
I'm not. I'm 30.
God damn, you are 30, huh?
It sneaks up on you.
I'm fixing to be.
Let me tell you right now, it sneaks up on you. Because I was 23 the other fucking day. Okay?
Damn. I'm about to be 22.
Yeah. And that's like, for me, I don't know, everybody's experience is different probably. But I'd tell you, like, 23 is like a hill, okay? You say you're climbing up, okay? Takes a long time to go up, right? Well,
Yeah.
23 is the peak. And then 20, once you hit 23, you just go all the way down.
You know, I kind of been thinking to myself lately. I've been thinking about like when I get old, am I gonna regret how much I kind of just like stayed in my house and didn't want to go out?
Yeah, you are.
But-
You're totally going to.
But the thing is, I'm gonna regret a lot of things in life, and nothing brings me more joy and more peace than being in my house and saving money. Tell me why.
But why?
Tell me
Why
why.
have the money if you're not gonna have kids? So why save money? I mean, that's
Because I
you
don't
say
like
you don't wanna
to
have
spend
kids.
it. I don't like to spend it. When I spend money, bro, it's like a fucking knife in the chest every time. Like I'm like, oh my God.
I hate not having money. That's what it is for me. I love spending money.
No.
I could blow money all goddamn day long if I have it. All week. I don't care. I'll go to strip club. I'll go to the mall. I'll go out to somewhere nice steakhouse. Probably not a steakhouse, but I make the best steak that I've ever had. But like I'll go somewhere like maybe get some lobster, get some nice threads, nice shoes, get my car worked on, take Jack out to wherever he wants to go, whatever theme park he wants to go to, maybe take a trip on a plane. I would love all that shit, man. Like I would be so bad if I got rich. I could probably go broke almost immediately. If I got rich, if I had a fucking lottery ticket, like I don't know, $1 million or something like that, I probably would spend it all pretty quickly on
I would not.
on one fucking sitting, man.
I would not. On God, you want to know something? If I became a millionaire, I would become even more of a cheapskate. I would get worse. I wouldn't want to spend any of that shit. I don't like spending it. So I like getting things. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves getting things. Like I just got some fucking new stuff from Bath & Body Works, right?
Weird woman.
I do not like to spend money. It physically hurts me. I do not like it. Like, it makes, and maybe that stems from me being poor my whole life, but
No,
I just,
you know what it stems from? You became an adult right in the middle of like the worst inflation America's ever seen.
and I also don't like to spend money because everywhere you fucking go or look on any screen, they're trying to sell you something, and it's kind of pissing me off a little bit. Fucking Facebook, TikTok, Hulu, Netflix, anything you look at, the fucking ads in the newspaper, buy this, buy this. No, I'm not gonna do it.
I hate like how no matter where you go, nowadays, like everything's just $20. Like
Oh, you're
minimum.
spending at
You know
least
what I
20
mean?
bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime you go anywhere, you're spending $20. I'm like, that's an hour of pay, like for me, and I have it good. You know what I mean? Like,
That's the other thing. Things are like pretty outrageously expensive these days, you know? And like,
yeah,
I
it
don't know.
costs like $50 to wake up in the morning.
Tell me why. We tried to go to a water park, which was like 2 hours away. And I looked online and it said it was open. Okay. We went because it was me and my boyfriend's 3-year anniversary the other day. So we wanted to go to this water park because he's never been to a water park, apparently. Like, he didn't know that like water parks were just like for everybody. He kind of thought it was like just like a kid thing. Like, he was like, I thought just like kids went to water parks. And I was like, no, everybody goes to water parks.
How do the kids go?
Well, he knew the parents went with them, but he kind of thought you had to have kids to go. And I was like, no, you can just go to a water park. Like, it's cool. But we grew up in Texas where there was like a water park everywhere you fucking turned.
You had to. People would die of heat strokes.
Yeah, people went.
There's a water park next to the ice cream factory.
Literally.
That's one thing.
Literally. So we tried to go to this fucking water park. I'm so excited because I never want to leave my house, but here I am going out in public. I'm gonna fucking be in my bathing suit. Nevertheless, anyway, you know, there's always a lot of self-esteem, confidence issues with that. But I'm ready to go. I'm cooling, right? They're fucking closed. So why the fuck does it say open online?
Open on Memorial Day?
No, it was last week. So it wasn't. It opened. I don't know. They told us it opened on the weekend, and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry it opened." And maybe that was our bad. Maybe we should have called first just to verify. But why the fuck did it say it was open?
You drove 2 hours, 4 total hours, there and back, and you didn't even get to go. Did you at least go somewhere else?
Yeah, we went to the mall, and then we went to like an arcade afterwards, and we had some fun. It was nice, and we bought some cool stuff. But fuck that, man. Like, I can't do shit around here and without some shit getting in the fucking way. Like, what? Because I don't feel like leaving all the time. So when I do, you kind of got to jump on it. Like it's like now or never kind of vibe. I never know how I'm going to feel on a day-to-day basis. But if I feel like going outside, we kind of got to do it now.
Wait till you get like a driver's license in the car, and you have to get your driver's license renewed, or you got to renew your registration, or you got to go get your inspection, or like you got to go get your insurance or whatever. You know, like once you have to go to the BMV, it's just an endless abusive relationship with that fucking agency, because you go there and they're like, you don't got this, and I'm like, they're like, you gotta come back. I'm like, you can't just. What if I give you $5? Nope, I'm a government worker. How dare you, dude? So I gotta come back. Yeah, we close in an hour. You could like, oh yeah, we're closed the whole weekend too, and it's a holiday weekend. You motherfucker, my tax expire tomorrow. Like, well, you should have did that. You should have had it all figured out. Fine, all right. I'll just risk getting a ticket all weekend long. Come back the fucking Tuesday after, like, you forgot the Declaration of Independence. What am I, Nick Cage? Like,
Jesus. I've experienced some of it because I did get an ID, and I had to get my Social Security card. I don't know what it is about our siblings and our family, but we didn't once you hit 18, you kind of had to go get your shit on your own because like our mothers couldn't keep up with all of them. So we all kind of had to get a fucking Social Security card and a birth certificate at some point. And it's hard to do when you're missing both. You don't understand how fucking hard it is to get one thing when you need the other to get it. Okay, you have to get so many different documents and records that prove, like hospital records and bills that have your name and all types of fucking hoops. And I was 17.
it's like, y'all got all that shit. You're the government. Y'all provided that. Why don't you just give it to me? Why I
Right,
gotta prove who I am? I say I am who
right,
I am.
right. And it's
Yeah.
not as hard to get your social security card when you know the number. So like that made it pretty easy because I knew my number, but not everybody knows it off the top of their head. So it's really fucking hard. But you know what made it even harder? So when I ordered my birth certificate, I had to order my birth certificate out of state actually. And I paid like $60 to like overnight it type shit. And it comes in the mail and there's no fucking first name
I remember
on it.
that. Yeah, because I did that.
I still fucking have it. Like I know people would be like, "That's bullshit." There's a fucking way because it happened and it happened to me, motherfucker.
Well, because
So
mom didn't know what to name you for like the first 2 weeks of your life.
right. So I'm gonna get
So
into it.
I
Right,
guess they just never updated it or whatever, amended
right.
it.
So I called them because the only thing it says unnamed, and then it has my last name. There's not even my middle names on there because I have two. For anyone wondering, I got 4 names altogether, 2 middle names. There was only a last name on it, and I looked at this document and I'm like, "There's no fucking federal agency, government agency that will take this at all ever." So I called them and I'm like,
Where's
"So
the
this
amended version,
this
guys? Come on.
birth certificate has no first name on it." And they're like, "Oh, what do you mean? Oh, like you didn't fucking look at it? Like you didn't even take a peek at it? I had to pay for another one. You're shitting me."
You had to pay for another one?
Yes, I had to
No,
go. It's not our fault because you weren't named when you left the hospital. And we had to go get the like you said, the amended version. What? Why the fuck didn't you get? Why does that other one even fucking exist? So yeah, I had to go get a new birth certificate that had an actual name on it. Who the fuck does this happen to? This doesn't happen to people, bro. Like y'all, where's the camera? Because y'all are shitting me right now. Anyway,
Do you want my
that's
opinion on
that.
that? Do you want my opinion on that? Because mom's
What?
watching. I'll give my opinion. Why the fuck did you have a child with no name for 2 weeks of her life, mother? What the fuck?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
You
Apparently, I
had
didn't have a
9
name.
goddamn months. Hell, she was the 5th child. You didn't just have some names to recycle that you didn't get to use?
Brad, I
She had so many. She named her first 5 kids with 4 fucking names. She ran out of goddamn names by the time she got to you.
if I'm being honest with you, like even my first name, people are like, "Oh my god, that's so unique." But I could, honest to God, tell you right now, there is not a soul alive that has the same fucking name as me. Full name. No one has the same full name as me. It's like impossible. It's like impossible, bro.
You know, people call me Ricky Bobby because of my 3 first names.
You say you have 3 first names?
Yeah, Clayton Zachary Cole.
You have 2 middle names.
I have 3 first names.
Oh, okay, weirdo. Call it what you want, but
Well, when I tell people my full name, they're like, "You got 3 first names." I'm like, "Yeah."
I met a dude that only had 2
None of those are
names.
middle names. Yeah.
I met a dude that only had 2 names the other day at work, and I was like, "Well, what happened?" He was like, "I guess you took him. I guess you took it." Like, I was like, "Oh, okay." But because I have 4 and he has 2, so it's funny. Laugh at something, fucking dick. But anyway, not to mention when I went to get my ID says I have 5 names.
Well, yeah, because one of your
One of
names
the
is supposed
names,
to be.
yeah, one
Is
of the
it
names they
hyphen
thought,
or is it just?
none are hyphened. They just have different capitalization in them. There's 2 capital letters in each of my names. So, it sounds like bullshit. I know. Like whenever I talk, it sounds like I'm just bullshitting, and I swear I'm not. Like this is why I don't like to talk to people.
I should go from no name for 2 weeks to like 7 names
In 20 years.
all smushed together. Like,
Yeah, so my ID says they can't fit my whole name on my social security card. So my whole name's not on my social security card, right? Then my ID has 5 names. And I got a birth certificate that's got no names. And I know, right? Like, can't make it up. Can't make this shit up, man. I got that bitch now, though. That bitch is in a safe. It ain't going no fucking where.
yeah, mine's in my safe as well. I got Grayson's in my safe too.
And apparently my social security number is like so weird. The first time I went to open a bank account, the bank teller was like, "I just have to ask you, where were you born? Because I've never seen a social security card number that looked like this." I was like, oh, I don't know. I was born out of state.
Who said that?
The first bank teller that I ever had when I went to open my own bank account was like, I just have to ask where you're born because I've never seen a social security number like that. I was like,
Maine.
yeah.
Like,
well, I guess they don't see a whole lot of
one of
people
the
born
50
in Maine.
states. Like,
Bro, could you imagine?
Is that one of those hoity-toity, like, I reckon fucking Louisiana fucktards?
Probably. I
Yeah,
don't know.
okay, so there's this joke that Tom Segura. Do you know who Tom Segura is?
Mm-mm.
He's a stand-up comedian. Okay, he's actually from Cincinnati. He lives in Austin now. He's blown up pretty big, real recently. But he has this joke. He's like, I'm not allowed to say the R word anymore because my last special I said the R word too many times, and I get death threats all the time now. So now I don't say, "Are you retarded?" I say, "Well, well, I'm butchering the joke," but he says, "Well, I went to Louisiana, and I met some of the dumbest people I ever met in my entire life. Like, we should just put walls around this state and just separate it from America." And now instead of saying, "Are you retarded?" I say, "What are you, Cajun?"
Whoa.
You should look it up. It's hilarious.
No.
I always wanted to show that to mom because, like, that would trigger mom so hard because he says retarded. He substitutes it with Cajun. That would make mom go insane.
Like the top of her head would like blow off, dude. Like,
Go to Shane Gillis too. And she's just like, you know, who Shane Gillis is. The one about he talks about George Washington. I think we showed him to you. Or you're up here. Talks about George Washington and Trump. Talking about the Trump speech and
I think I remember that.
yeah. Well, I don't know. He went to go to the George Washington Museum or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you should check out. Do you have Netflix?
No.
Oh, well, if you get Netflix, you should check out Tires. It's Shane Gillis has a new TV show out, and it's about a lube shop, so like a mechanic. So it's pretty. It's blue collar, The Office, essentially. It's so funny.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
If you're looking for something, I know you were trying to watch Hulu the other day, so. And in my personal opinion, Hulu has nothing right now to offer.
No, and I mean, I just had Netflix up until a month ago, and it didn't really feel like it had a whole lot to offer either. Honestly, the only thing I really did like about Netflix was there were no fucking commercials. So I mean, that was like A1. But they're probably gonna change that.
They have commercials now. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Can't have shit.
They have a $6.99 version that has ads, and then they have an $18.99 version with no ads. I'm not paying $20 a month.
Damn.
And what I've learned is, like, I'm starting to like. I'll get rid of some streaming platforms and just add a new one that I haven't seen in a while, and just rotate like 2 or 3, because like there's so many now that I'm not gonna buy them all at the same time. But also, like, like, you'll watch like 4 or 5 good shows and maybe a movie that you haven't seen yet, and then boom, you're out of something to watch. You just hop over to another platform. That's what I'm like right now. I haven't had Netflix in over a year, so I'm catching up on Netflix stuff and see what Netflix has got.
That's pretty smart.
I just deleted like Peacock and HBO because there's nothing on there. I've seen everything. So
yeah. Let me tell you something that was also on my mind this week. I saw a very young child at a restaurant, like at dinner, with a fucking tablet in front of him. Like a 1-year-old.
And they know how to do it, right? They know how to use it.
Right. And I'm not trying to like judge nobody's parenting skills. I don't have kids, so maybe it's not my place, but you don't think that's a little young? You don't think that's a little young, maybe? Like a TV, yeah, sure, everyone's got a TV, but like the tablet at dinner,
I'm gonna be honest with
they're
you.
gonna be fucking
It gets them to shut the fuck up in public.
dude, they're gonna be cavemen. They're not gonna know how to act. You're gonna fucking take it from them. They're gonna go "Rawr!" and fucking lose their mind. They're
Yeah,
not
and
gonna
then you go, whoopah! Don't do that.
No, they made that illegal. You can't hit them anymore.
It's not illegal.
It's pretty illegal. It's definitely frowned upon.
Frowned upon, sure, but I
Frowned
mean,
upon a whole lot.
come over here and tell me. Come over here and tell me. You next.
I don't have kids, so like I
That's
said,
what
it's
I'm
not
saying.
my place to
I'm I'm a firm believer in spanking your kids, especially when they're like younger, and you can't just like talk to them. And I don't mean like beating them, obviously, but like like hey, if they don't speak English yet or whatever their first language is of their parents, they're not gonna understand. No, I don't know what the fuck it means. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you say you swat. It's like it sounds shitty, but like it's like a dog. You swat them and then say no, and then they are preconditioned to know that no hurts. You know what I mean?
Right, and I do believe there are some situations where it calls for it. Honestly, like you'd have to really break it down. And living in the South, me and you have witnessed a lot of like even just other people. Like I've seen other people
aggression.
I've seen other people put hot sauce in their kid's mouth, which I think is a little aggressive.
Soap.
I've seen
There's
people
another
put soap in their kid's mouth. That's aggressive. And the fucking what's the one you hear? The switch. You hear switches. All go get a Willow switch.
You
Like-
do it with your hand, you're a bad parent. You
And
know
a
what I mean?
belt too. Like even the belt. I've seen people do wooden spoons. Like what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like the pad. Oh, I've seen paddles in people's houses. Like that's fucked
You
up.
like show it off too. Like they're like,
You
oh,
notice
look at this.
You notice that? They're like, leave it out. And I'm like, you hit your kid with like a 2x4, dude.
And you're
like,
telling me about this? Like you're proud of it? Like fucking weird, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
we saw some crazy shit growing up. And like there are some things that I would just never do. And like you said, I don't feel like you should ever have to hit your kid with anything other than your hand. And honestly, it shouldn't be your first response either. It should only be your first response if the kid's in like imminent danger. If the kid's going to stick a fork in a fucking electric socket, yeah, hit the motherfucker. Or maybe if the kid cusses or bites, they could get popped on the mouth, like there ain't nothing wrong with popping you on the mouth, but like as far as like spanking or like how hard are you hitting your kid? Like how, not you specifically, but people like, oh, I spanked my kid. Are you spanking them or are you hurting them? Because there is a difference. If you're just beating the fuck out of that fucking kid, you're beating on him, not spanking.
I almost don't even make contact when I was doing it. It's more with Jack. It's more like kind of just like
grabbing their attention.
Yeah, it's more like getting his attention. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, just like cut it out. You know what I mean? Like, especially after I've talked. Most of the time, it's after I've already asked him multiple times. So.
Or like, how do you feel about like hitting your kid in the face? Because I've seen people slap their kid in the face. Depending on their age, that's aggressive.
Yeah. So Jack's 8, and he's a big 8, and I kind of do like when he's crying because I say I'm trying to get him to do something. He's doing his like throwing his little bitch fits or whatever. I kind of like do that, like take the fingers and just kind of, hey, cut it out, man. Like we're like right in the cheek, Or like it's kind. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of it's kind of like it's a male to male thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know that I would do that necessarily with a daughter, but if anything, I'm trying to toughen him up to be, a man. So like,
and
hey,
that makes sense.
Like, hey, quit crying. You know what I mean? We got to do it regardless.
Right.
So crying is not doing anything but keeping you from doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, when he's doing a little bitch face, I'll pop him in the face a little bit, but not hard. Mostly,
but you would never like smack him across the face, right?
Never.
Even hold on. Let me like put what's it called? Like in theory, like a not philosophical, but like you know the word I'm looking for. But anyway,
hypothetical.
So, hypothetically, if Jack grows up one day and he's like 16, 17, and maybe he's just up in your face and he's just like, you're a fucking pussy ass bitch or something. Like you would still never slap your kid, right? There's no instance where he could hurt your feelings to the point where you'd be like, the fuck is wrong with you? Because I've
Well,
seen that
I
before too.
think that I kind of want to cross that bridge when I come to it. But if that ever happens, I'm gonna treat him like anybody else. Hey, get out of my face. You know what I mean? Like you, and not, and most of the time, uh, as a father, especially one that didn't have one, there's a lot of situations that are going to be learning experiences for Jack. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I
And for
think
you too.
him stepping up to me, I'm going to have to show him what happens when you step up to a man who knows how to fight and has more experience fighting. You know what I mean? Like
And right. And this is all
it's not gonna go
hypothetical.
your way. You know what I mean? So you better be ready to fight. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna come up with my girl, you better be ready. You know what I mean? Like
Right. And
and
it's
if
hypothetically
anything,
speaking.
it's really for me to teach him how to leave the house. You know what I mean? Don't start fights that you can't finish. Don't start fights at all, really, honestly.
Right.
Why why if it can't be solved um like I don't know what like cordially, okay, fine, we'll fight this out. But I think I'm of the opinion that most things can be solved with our words, you know, and that's kind of how I am trying to teach him, you know. So like I said, I very rarely do. I honestly haven't spanked Jack. The last time I remember was probably like 2 or 3 years ago when he put his mouth on one of the grocery carts. He was just ah, and I was just like, "Hey!" You know, I spanked him right on his ass, and he was like, "Ah!" the whole way through the Walmart. I was like, "Don't put your mouth on public shit, dumbass." You know what I mean? Everybody's like looking at me because I just called him a dumbass and spanked him, and I'm like, "What? You saw what he
Say something.
did?" Yeah. So it's been. I don't have to spank Jack. He's not that one of those kinds of kids, though. You know, I believe in it if it comes down to it, but most of the
And
time I
Jack's
can
the kind
usually.
of person where like it's like whatever you're doing, honestly, and to kind of like sum that whole part up, that was all a hypothetical. Hopefully you'll raise Jack into a situation where you guys would never have to have that type of situation.
It'll
You
probably
know?
come to that just because, like, that's just how boys are. Boys just
Right.
become that in teenagers.
Mhm.
That's gonna be a thing for sure. But anyway, you're
Right.
saying
Um,
testosterone, especially when it's fresh. You're not used to the anger.
but Jax is
You
kind of.
know,
I was gonna say Jax is kind of like I can already tell like the shit you're like you say to him. People might think, oh, that's a little harsh. Nah, dude, like he'll take it and give it back. Like he's really like it's not affecting him the way honestly the way it should be affecting him. He's like so chill about and not to say you verbally abuse him or anything, but he definitely could like he's grown up around like a lot of uncles and like a lot and like one of his uncles is pretty close in his age.
we're all shit talkers. We're all shit
You know
talkers.
what I'm saying? Like one of his uncles is like damn near cousin age. So he's, talking shit and he's taking shit. Like it's not a
Me,
situation where he's being bullied at all. Like he low key bullied me when I was up there on the low.
me and Jack have this game. It's the flip off game. You know what it is? When you walk by somebody, you go like this, like look him right in the eye and go like this. He does. We do it to each other. He knows not to do it at school or to his mom or anything, but it's our own little thing. Like he'll walk by and just go, and then run off.
Bro, that's hilarious. I love that. I
Yeah,
love that, bro. Did you
it's
see the
the
trend?
funniest thing ever. Especially because
There's
I'm like playing on my phone, like I'm laying in my bed just bullshitting, and Jack has been playing games for the last hour or so, and he like comes through
oh,
the hallway and he goes, we're like, what? Here he goes. And I like look at him, and then he like runs away and giggles.
funniest shit ever, bro. I love that, honestly. But you want to know something? Damn, I lost it. Never mind. I was gonna say something and I forgot. That's
Yeah,
fucking
I've been there.
hilarious, dude.
Weed,
Yeah, it's a weed, honestly.
marijuana. He's smoking the devil's lettuce. Look at my shirt. It's cannabis.
Oh, you wear that in
Probably says it
public?
backwards, do you? Yeah, I wear it all day.
I have one that says heavily medicated and it has a weed leaf on it, but I
I
don't
got to
wear it
stand.
around.
I got to stand in line today while door dashing next to two cops wearing this shirt, and one of them had like the cop stash, and he kept like looking over at me. And, I kept looking at my phone and whatnot, and I look up and I was like, "Bro, that's a bitchin' mustache." And then he like laughed. He's like, "Thanks, man. I like your shirt." And I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you do."
No, not
It's
the
legal
cop.
here now, you know what I mean? So I don't think he's allowed to smoke, but I think he was just fucking with me, you know what I mean? Like,
That's fucking hilarious, dude. Like, I love that. Just like a fucking healthy interaction, bro. Like, that's amazing.
yeah, now
Oh,
that weed's legal, it's like I feel like
now you're
cops are
not
gonna
like a
start being
criminal.
like,
You don't feel like a fucking criminal anymore. Like, to be honest with
right,
you, I don't break any laws. If anyone were to ask me, I would tell them I don't break any laws, but I smoke weed
break
every day.
laws.
No,
You
I don't.
break laws. Yeah,
No,
you break laws. That's against the
no, I
law.
don't.
Yeah,
Fuck
you're
you.
just
No, it's not.
and
It's
to
not
be
against
sure,
my law.
you
It's
break
not against
laws,
my
it's not a
law.
criminal.
It's not against my law.
Oh, okay. That's
Fucking
that's
shit.
my favorite thing about like I just I hate it when people are like we all agreed to be in a society. It's like I never agreed to shit. I was just born here, and y'all are making me follow these laws.
Born here, bro.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
oh, that's another thing I wanted to bring up on here. So, I've told you lately I'm interested in college. I've kind of been looking into it, seeing how I would apply and where I would go and stuff like that. And I've been leaning towards psychology because I'm interested in the way the human brain works, why it does this, why people are fucked up, why they're not. I'm very interested. And it took me a long time to realize people do things that they're passionate about. They don't work just because they have to. Some people work because they love it. So I'm trying to get more on that wave, and I want to do something I'm actually interested in. So I am interested in psychology. But tell me why. Every time I've told somebody, I think you including, that I wanted to go to college for psychology, they were like, "This is the dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard." Like 3 different people didn't say it like that, but they heavily insinuated. And not in a bad way. They
they
just
charge
told
like
me
$200 an hour.
they told me hard that it would not be in your best interest to be a psychologist because you have to go really far into that. It's not something you could just get a master's. You have to get a bachelor's, which is 8 years, not just the regular 4,
The
right?
bachelor's is 4, the master's is 8 years.
You have to go to
No different
medical
than a doctor.
you have to go to medical school, and most people who become a psychologist go in to become a psychiatrist, and you have to become a medical license to do that. So you have to go to medical school, right? I didn't know all that shit. I was like, oh,
Don't let people just tell you. Don't let people fucking tell you that it's too hard. Fuck them.
well, they were. Fuck them. That's what I believe too, right? But there was one guy who was a customer of mine, and he overheard me talking about it, and he was like, "Well, my wife is actually a licensed psychologist, and she's actually a teacher right now, and I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work for everybody." He basically listed what I just said. You have to go really far into it, but also you have to take into account that they don't get paid well, and they have to deal with the absolute worst of humanity because you have to deal with people who've been molested and sexually assaulted and abandoned and tortured. You have to deal with the fucked up shit and not get paid a lot for it. So it's not for everybody. And I was like,
but you're actually legitimately interested in it.
I am. I kind of want to know.
Let me tell you why it is also cool for you to do it. Is you're doing this right now, this fucking podcast. You will be able to make money on the side by talking about your I don't know, your studies and your theories and your findings and stuff. You know what I mean? And you have a
Oh yeah.
podcast and stuff like that. And granted, you have to have parent, not parent, doctor patient confidentiality, so you can't specifically talk about.
Oh
But
yeah.
you
But
do
you could
patient
talk
1, patient
about.
2, stuff like that. And then I mean, also a big thing nowadays is working from home. Is you just do the little fucking video thing, you know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
don't even have to leave your house most of the time. You build up the right clientele. You know what I mean? So not only are you safe because you're not near the crazy person, you know what I mean? But they probably feel safer too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'd say stick with it, and then
I mean,
I
honestly,
think whatever you decide to do, you continue to try to build this like I'm doing right now. Build a platform for yourself, and then you'll have a much easier time building a platform than I did, just because you actually have an interesting career if you go that route and find yourself a trade of some sort. You know what I mean?
right. And
I
honestly,
don't
it's
have
the
a
only
trade.
thing.
I'm just a funny guy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's honestly the only thing that interests me right now. And that's like I think I texted and told you, maybe not, maybe it was someone else, but if you go on YouTube, you can look up like college level what is it? When they talk to you like college level classes,
Yeah,
seminars.
all of Harvard's curriculum is on YouTube right
They
now.
have like Harvard and Yale, and like I'm
Mhm.
already laying down the groundwork, like getting to some of this shit's outdated, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the shit they still use today. So like you can get down some of the groundwork before you even go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The majority of the American education system hasn't really been updated since like the 70s. You know, like
yeah.
they're still like they still don't really teach 9/11 in school yet.
Not
You know what I
really.
mean?
They
And, like
talk
that was
about it a
20
little bit.
something years ago. It was like a quarter century ago. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm so interested in it, honestly. And honestly, another thing that interested me a little bit was like the internal monologue. You have an internal monologue?
Yeah, for of course. I don't know I don't know if that's real. I don't believe
Not
that.
everybody has one.
I would believe that, but the whole 50-50 thing is not I don't believe. I think
I
it's
mean,
probably like a small minority of
I
people.
think it's rare. I think it's rare. And honestly, I was talking to someone today who said they met someone who claims they didn't have an internal monologue. And I just straight up asked him, I was like, was that person ditzy? And she was like, yeah, they were. And there was one time the chick who didn't have an internal monologue was like staring off into space. And the other chick asked her, what are you thinking about? And the other girl was like, nothing. So you're zoned out, but you're actually thinking about nothing. Because when I zone out, I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm thinking about fucking everything on God.
Bro, when I'm zoning out, I'm having a mental breakdown, like
Like
a
for
mini one. It's
real.
like a mini mental breakdown. It's like I zone out when I'm having too many like I'm overthinking when I'm having to because like I have multiple thought streams at the same time.
Uh huh.
So like I like and there's no limit. Like it's like my brain is like when you have too many tabs open on the computer, you're like
Yeah.
you gotta like exit them all out. So
That's like ADHD. That's what they call that.
whatever it is, like so well I suffer from a thought disorder. So
Yeah, you told me about that. That shit sounds weird.
yeah. Well they said like if uh if it goes too crazy or whatever, it can like manifest into schizophrenia. Yeah. So like
And you should like get that checked on. Oh,
there's nothing you can really do about it. Like they're like you just have they're like practices. Like because I asked, I was like, so is there like any kind of medication we can keep from that happening? Or like no, most everything you just kind of have to do like breathing exercises and maybe like sitting down and counting to 3 and exercise and don't drink too much and don't smoke too much weed and things like that. Try to like calm yourself to do whatever it does calms you down. And I'm just like,
pretty boring as the fuck.
bro, this is not if I if
So you're saying your stress levels can't even go up like 1%, or you're
not for
like,
too not for too long, not for a long period of time, I should say. Like if they're not saying that like I'm in danger of it happening, but they're saying like if you're under too much stress for too long, it can manifest into it doesn't mean necessarily mean it will, but um
damn.
yeah, no, that's why I don't do drugs. Like that's why I stopped doing drugs. I don't do drugs anymore just because like I'm a grown man now with responsibilities. But like they're like, oh yeah, well because they were trying to originally they were trying to prescribe me like Xanax and stuff because they're like you it sounds like you just have anxiety. And then I was
Like
like,
you can
well,
mellow out.
right. And I was like, well, the problem is when I take Xanax, it gives me panic attacks. And they're like, interesting. I was like, yeah, when I smoke like too much weed, like I can only have like 1 or 2 hits of weed, or I'll start having a panic attack. There's like the only thing that doesn't really give you a panic attack is alcohol. And they're like, yeah, that's a thought disorder. Like, there's so
You
the
want
way
to know
that they
something?
explained it to me. and I could be wrong, this is what I understand, is the difference between anxiety and a thought disorder is anxiety is just impending doom and you don't know why, but a thought
Oh yeah.
disorder is your thoughts are giving you anxiety.
Oh, so I should go see someone because I thought that was just part of the package. Like I could like induce myself into a panic attack if I thought too hard about it. Like I thought that was just I have like generalized anxiety when it comes to like being out and about, but I could really fuck my shit up if I thought too hard about it. That's why I
Yeah,
kind of always gotta have something in the
but do you
background.
have anxiety and then you think about it and it gives you more anxiety? Because like I can be good if I don't try to think negatively, which is how I handle it most of the time nowadays. But my thoughts can give me a panic attack. Like I can think myself into a panic attack if I let myself spiral, which
Yeah,
is the thought disorder.
kind of
Um,
thought that was what
but you just
anxiety
have
was.
anxiety, and you sometimes and you just don't know. Because I can always pinpoint where my anxiety starts. It's all about whether or not I can stop it and control it. You know what I mean? Do you just
Yeah.
have you're just like I don't know why I have anxiety? That's normal. That's actually a normal anxiety attack. Is you don't know what's giving you anxiety.
Okay, so when I was younger, it kind of felt more like what you said, like just an impending doom. Like even now, sometimes like an anxiety attack could sneak up on me. It's pretty rare these days, but I can most of the time I've got my anxiety like under control, and that's just like staying in my house a whole lot and staying away from people and like just not
That's
taking things too
agoraphobia, is what that is.
seriously. But if I were to think too hard about like the past or like some things that I'm like unsure of, oh yeah, I could totally induce myself into like a fucking mental breakdown. But I just steer away from it. Like I just don't go down that route.
Well, that's
That's
not
why
that is.
like
I don't think that's the same thing. Um, because what it is like I have the I can overthink something that's positive into a negative situation. You know what I mean? Like even if it's totally good, I also go, well, let me think about like all that could go wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's where the problem is no matter what, I can think myself into a panic attack, no matter
no,
what's good and what's
see,
bad.
no, see, because when I see it used to be a little bit like that when I was younger. Like I could be like, oh well, this is happening, but this, and this could also happen. And it's less of that now. Now it's just like a generalized, like I'm just like an anxious, like nervous chihuahua. Cause like I feel like something's gonna happen, not really sure what. But it's
Yeah,
never like,
that's just impending doom.
yeah,
I
that's just
always try to
anxiety.
well, like in it, we always joked about this when we were younger, but you remember how like sometimes we would have like little debates about stuff, and you would try to like get me, and then I would beat you in the debate still, no matter
Yeah.
what you said. I would be like, well, let's think of it like this. That's because I overthink everything. I'm like 7 steps ahead of you because I have all these fucking thoughts at the same time, and they all lead to every scenario I could possibly imagine, and it thinks me into a panic attack.
So yeah, that happened to me more when I was a kid, just because I hadn't been through as many situations. Because, like I said, I was homeschooled and I just wasn't out as much. But now that I'm older and I've been through more situations, you can kind of tell what scenario is going to happen based on what's already happened. Honestly, like you kind of
I
just got
don't
to use
have
like
that problem.
deductive reasoning.
I try to think I try to prepare myself for anything because I always feel confused when something happens. Anything. I'm
Well, you see,
generally I'm generally like, okay, where did that go wrong or why did that go right? I'm always analyzing stuff like almost like a commentator in sports. Every single situation.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot like that for me when I was younger. Yeah, I've definitely mellowed out a lot more about it just because I decided I don't like feeling that way anymore. So I'm just gonna stop fucking thinking like that. Like I've literally had to catch myself being like, "You're overthinking it. Just let the shit go." And I've just let it go because I'm like, it's just not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. It's not worth me being anxious over. So I used to think like that when I was younger and I didn't have as many experiences. But now that I'm older, it's not like that. It's more of just like a generalized nervousness, anxiety, like awkwardness kind of, it's not so much like every situation I need to overanalyze and see every outcome. I don't think like that anymore. I kind of
I also don't. I don't think you have a thought disorder because I think they're like one of the biggest, like, telltale signs is the panic attacks while on anti-anxiety medicine.
Yeah, that is
you don't really have that
like
problem.
insane. That is the most insane shit. And to be honest with you, when you said that you were having these wild experiences with marijuana, I was like, it's got to be you because this shit is the best. I've always been, and I'm like
You're like, that sounds like a you problem.
I'm a little fucking chihuahua, but when that weed hit, bro, I'm like so fucking chill about like you couldn't get me worked up for shit right now. You're not getting me worked up for nothing but another blunt. Like honestly, like don't even kill my vibe when it comes to the weed. I have never been so high that I thought I was gonna die. Never on weed, on marijuana, and only marijuana. I have never been high to a point where I thought I was going to die. Never.
I feel like edibles is different. Is a different thing. I don't even do edibles. I don't eat edibles anymore because I have panic attacks almost every time. But smoking marijuana, yeah, I've had.
Oh yeah. If you can't handle an edible, you definitely could not ever do. Not that you're interested in. I'm just throwing this out there. You could never do any type of psychedelic ever.
Oh,
you're not the kind of person.
Never even considered it. I got friends, fucking Dino, Dino and Kyle. God damn, I got like beard hair in my mouth. Ugh. Anyway, Dino and Kyle are into that whole microdosing or whatever to like heal your brain or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm like, that wouldn't help me. I'm trying to convince, they're like, oh yeah, you should do this or whatever. I'm like, first off, y'all are doctors. Secondly, I've literally been told by medical professionals not to do any type of fucking drug ever again, really, honestly.
Like, no, man, because if you don't, and
but like it heals the brain and it opens your third eye. Like, if I have a third eye open up, I will kill us all out of fear. I will kill us all if I have I don't need another point of view to see from, okay?
Dude, that would be the craziest shit ever. And honestly, what you said about having panic attacks on Xanax, I have to tell you, my experience with Xanax, okay? Like, I tried Xanax a few times when I was a kid. Don't recommend it. Like, PSA, don't do drugs at all, ever, honestly.
Fucking drug addict.
But I had a girlfriend at the time, and the girlfriend was ratchet. And I wasn't aware because I didn't really know a whole lot back then, but she was ratchet.
I don't know what that's like, having a ratchet girlfriend.
She introduced me to a whole lot of stuff, right? So when I first took Xanax, I had always assumed that when you take drugs to feel something. It had never occurred to me that you would take drugs to not feel something. So when I would take Xanax, I'd be like, I don't feel anything. I don't think this shit works. I think you got played. Like, what is this? So, like, and it didn't occur to me that you would take it to not feel. It's meant to, like, mellow you out and make you not give a fuck. I was like,
some people just can't handle the pain of life.
Apparently, because like I was like, I didn't even want to do it. Like I did it like twice, and I was like, this shit's stupid. Like you're getting played. Like I don't know what the fuck you're taking, but it's not doing anything to me. It wasn't
when I was a kid, like, well, not when I say kid, I was like 18, 19, 20, like popping painkillers and whatnot. That was because they felt awesome. You know what I mean? I felt
that's what I'm saying.
I was ready to fight anybody. I was like, you want to go? You want to go?
Well, that's what I thought.
And fucking whatever this is.
That's what I thought it was supposed to do. I mean, I didn't do a whole lot of research on it or anything, but I guess I just assumed it was meant to like make you feel good because you smoke weed and you don't stop feeling things. You just feel better. Like the music feels better and the food tastes better and like you just feel better about life because you're feeling something, right? The Xanax you didn't feel shit. So I was going around like not 15 because I lived with you, but like 14 to 15, barred the fuck out. Didn't even realize it because I was just like, I don't even feel anything. What are these supposed to be doing? Like nothing? Like, so yeah, I just never really dabbled in that again. you know. And then I think my doctors tried to prescribe me 2 different like SSRIs, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and it was the same shit. Like I just felt like a zombie, and I didn't even know what the fuck like it was supposed to be doing, but it wasn't helping the anxiety. So I just gave up. And I didn't like that their first assumption was
And
to
you're
give me
trying to
drugs
give me
anyway.
serotonin. Just make me a bacon cheeseburger. Like,
Why?
you know what I mean? Like with some like curly fries and a chocolate milkshake. Like, stop trying to give me all this other shit. Like,
But
you
you
chop
know
this
what?
up, bleach it, and put it in a old plastic tablet and take it, bitch.
But
What?
you know what?
Kill a cow.
The anxiety is our problem because it seems like everybody in the fucking world has an anxiety problem. So there's gotta be something in common. You know, like it's gotta be something that the government's doing or not doing that's making us all freak the fuck out.
Well, the problem is we're animals, Ruby. We're animals, okay? We're not meant to be in little boxes, kept away from the trees. You know, we're supposed to go put our feet on the grass and exercise and chase something. You know what I mean? And quite honestly, kill something and pick some berries. You know what I mean? Like we're not supposed to be like separated from our tribe like we are all the
Bro,
time. You know,
I
we're taught that our
held
neighbors are weird. You know,
I
they're not.
held
That's your village. You know.
I held my rent money in my hand one day and I was just like looking at it and like feeling it and I was like, this is what my life is worth. This is not my life, but I get technically my life because you work for your money, right? You
The
work
last
to have
month of your life, yeah.
and like this is what my life is worth right here. Like this is and it just felt so like demeaning. Like this piece of paper that could be so like teared in two is so fucking important
Why are
to
you
our
paying
life.
in cash?
And so like it's so
Why are
it
you
just
paying
felt
in cash?
so well, I wasn't. That was before you went to go like, you know, get the fucking cashier's check or whatever the fuck it's called. But like I was just holding because I'm a fucking waitress. I make most of my money in cash, so I have to go put it in the fucking ATM before I can pay anything. But I was just holding it. I'm like, it just don't sit right with me that this is what my life is worth. You know, I don't know. We got to change something. Something's got to be done. They got to lower the costs of shit, and they got to stop poisoning our food. Because I swear to God,
The answer, in my opinion, is not to raise wages, not to lower costs. Well, maybe to lower costs, but that's more of a side effect. The what needs to happen is that the government needs to tell everyone, if you sell something, you need to show us all of your expenses on how you came up with your price. Honestly, fuck you, we'll tell you your price. You are not allowed to charge more than say 100% profit, meaning double what you paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why if I spent $1 on something, why charging $2 isn't enough. You know what I mean? Like
I
that
know
way
you
you get your money
got.
back and you got an extra dollar or 100%. You essentially doubled your money. You know what I mean? Like that's usually good. When you say, "Oh, you doubled your money," that's a good thing. So why the fuck are these businesses fucking overcharging? There's no reason why gas is $3.50 right now. There was a point during the shutdown where eggs were like going for $5 for a dozen. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's insane.
Yeah, and then like when you really sit down and think about things, imagine you get pulled over for something, and what is it? You know, maybe you forgot your blinker, maybe you were speeding, I don't know, just something hypothetical, and you automatically know like you're gonna get a ticket. What does a ticket mean? Money. Okay, you get in trouble for like loitering or littering or something. What does that mean? Money. You get in any type of like trouble with anything. It's always at the end of the day, it's money. You can always break down any fucking problem you're having other than like romantically in a relationship, but like, you know,
A
other in
lot
your
of
life,
times,
money.
even
You could
still in romantic
a
relationships,
lot of it
money.
romantically, you could like a lot of people's problems come down to fucking money, and I'm fucking
Mhm.
sick of it. Because I've what you said, the overthinking thing. I've overthought a lot of things, and it all circles back to money.
Oh yeah, for sure. What do you think about replacing traffic tickets and general ticketable offenses with maybe I don't know, like a couple hours of community service.
That would do people a lot of good, and I bet you people would not risk. Honestly, people wouldn't
People
risk it
wouldn't
as
feed
much.
anymore.
You would
I
not catch
would. I would.
any
Ah,
because
shit. Am I going
time,
5 over?
the first time you're in that fucking yellow jumpsuit on the side of the fucking road picking up trash, you said I ain't never fucking speeding again, bro. Like ever. And honestly, so
People
much
wouldn't
of the
feel
fucking world, so much of the
it.
world would be clean. So much of the world would be clean. And honestly, the littering pisses me off, bro. When I see trash right next to a fucking public trash can, it infuriates me. Like,
Well, not only just picking up trash. Don't think of it as just picking up trash, but community service where you say you go like you go have to go volunteer at an orphanage or whatever the fuck and deal with some of them bratty ass kids, or
a
like
soup kitchen or
go
something.
go work on maintenance on the roads. Um,
All types of shit.
just all kinds of stuff that our
Old
government
folks
pays for.
home, gotta go work in the hospice home with the old
Yeah, for a
folks.
day, and then
Mhm.
yeah, dude, hell yeah, you
People would
like,
not be committing many crimes. I tell you that much. They're at
oh
least
yeah,
on the road.
you have to go and like, I don't know how, like, I don't know how, figure out some way where you have to like go clean, scrub the fucking police departments and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like just different shit where you have to go and like meet different people, do different jobs, and a lot of the times it's going to be a shitty job, But like you'll learn your lesson. You'll probably learn something. You'll meet some people. You know what I mean? And it won't necessarily. I mean, honestly, if you still look at it, it's going to cost you a day. You know,
Yeah.
so if anything, it's still going to cost you money. You know,
Mhm.
um,
And
probably
that
work
comes
it
from
out to where you can go do it on a weekend or something, or around your work schedule. But still, yeah. Um, I think that would probably be the better way for ticketable offenses is move it, transfer it over to, because like it's still, because I feel like the government still like would want to make money, obviously, like, so trying to be like, no, we have to get rid of ticketable offenses. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, like technically, if you're putting somebody to work, that's free labor. You know what I mean? So like that's still money in a way. You know what I mean?
you're saving money somehow, some
And not
way.
enough, but then that kind of balances the scale of like the poor versus the rich situation. Where if you get it, if you get a ticket and you make a shitload of money, $200 speeding ticket ain't shit to you. So you're probably gonna speed again. You know what I mean? Where
Right.
that can break a fucking poor family. You know what I mean? So if everybody has to go and do community service, everybody's gonna be like, this sucks. Like,
That's
you know
what I
what I
was
mean?
just thinking. That's what I was just thinking. There's a different dynamic between rich people and poor people. That's kind of what I was getting to with the whole ticketing thing was like you said, like that could mean a lot to a poor family, but it's nothing to a rich motherfucker who's just blowing money, speeding, doing whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And also, this is a random question, but do you litter?
No,
I don't think you did.
I
And
mean,
like,
you should see my car because I don't litter. I have to throughout the week. I take all my shit. I try to be the guy where as soon as I'm done with my food, and I do in my house, but in my car, I try to be the guy where wind it up, go throw it away. I just don't think about it sometimes, and then I look back and like, Jesus Christ, my car is disgusting. Like, so
yeah,
yeah,
I
because
don't
I
litter
don't
either.
litter, my car looks like shit
And I
most of the time.
really try not to associate with people who do litter. Like, even cigarette butts, man, like, there ain't no reason for that.
Okay, well, cigarette butts is a different thing. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. Um, Birds have evolved, or I don't know, or adapted to taking cigarette butts and putting them in their nests because they keep away predators for their youth because they don't their predators their babies the babies predators of the birdlings or whatever, um their predators don't like the smell of cigarettes.
Oh,
So,
well, good to know. But even
mm,
that, like, would irk me. I didn't know that before, but like, I was the kind of person where I would like put the cigarette butt like in my pocket and like wait till I find a trash can because I'm just not down with like
there's a
destroying
lot
the
of weird
planet.
things you need to look up about like the animals around us, the ones that are surviving are adapting to us. Like fucking apes have started watching us use tools and they started making hammers out of like strings that they made from fucking
Oh, I saw
thick ass
that.
plants
I
with
saw
rocks
a
and sticks, and
monkey.
they're building stuff now. Like
I
they're using
yeah.
them to either kill fish or bust open fruit. Some of them are building like platforms to climb and maybe giving them a roof so when it rains and stuff. So they're like the apes are technically in their stone age. Orcas, they're sinking ships now or yachts and boats, small boats because they kept dying by getting hit by the propellers or whatever of boats. So now they'll just take a bite out of a fucking boat and sink them now. Like animals are starting to get used to us, you know what I mean, and adapting and stuff.
Damn.
Look at the Discovery Channel. That's wild.
Damn, bro. And that's crazy because I just watched like 3 or 4 movies about the Planet of the Apes movie. And like 'cause when I was younger, it seemed kind of like stupid, but now that I'm older, I'm like, it's not that stupid,
They know
honestly.
sign language. A lot of the ones in captivity, they know sign language. They teach them sign language.
I saw
So
an orangutan on a video, like you said, using a fucking handsaw and fucking building something, bro. Like I don't know what the fuck she was building, but she was using a fucking saw. I'm like, what the dude?
I would not give a fucking saw
They're
to a
really
big ass ape,
so,
bro.
orangutans are actually the nice ones, though. They say orangutans are really friendly.
They say women are nice. I've never seen it.
That's not what they told us about you men.
Nobody said we were nice.
That's what I'm saying. That's not what they said about y'all. They were from the jump. People were like, men
Well,
are
yeah,
trash. You'll find that
we
out.
had to like divide and conquer and murder and shit to get where we are now, you know.
That is true. Yeah.
Wage wars. Like that's the craziest thing is when you think about where we are today versus how society in its primitive days started. There was just groups of people and they're like, there's 8 of us. They look like us. Let's go fuck them up. Like, what the fuck? Why would you want to be like, why would you go over there and be like, hey, what's up? You know, we look alike. You know, not totally alike, but like kind of, like let's
You know why?
you
I
talk with your
think,
hands or whatever, you know?
you
No,
know
they
what?
just like take their shit. Like
You know what? Part of the reason I think the natives in the beginning were so like welcoming to us before we started like pillaging them, they were like, oh yeah, we could share, was because they were supposedly one of the first people to like, not one of the first, but some of the first people to like discover marijuana because they would burn a lot of herbs and like the smokehouses and stuff like that. So they were probably just like
I'm
hella
tired of the
chill.
narrative though.
They
Okay,
were so like so
you're
chill.
probably
And
right
then
on to an extent, but I'm tired of that narrative that the Native Americans were nice and the
they
white people
were.
came here and fucked them up. Okay,
We
that is
did.
that's the result. We came over here and fucked them up or whatever. And I can't even say we because I'm part Native American. You're part Native American. Most Americans are these days, but like look into like the Apaches. There's a reason why military helicopters are named after them, okay? Some of these Native American tribes were fucking each other up. They were fucking each other up. The Apaches is one of the biggest. They span from like all the way up to Canada down to Texas, okay? Because they were just fucking murking the other Native Americans. There was the Blackfeet, the Sioux. The Sioux were just fucking chopping people's heads off and moving the fuck off. You got the Aztecs and the Mayans, man. They were sacrificing their own people to the gods. Okay, they were just as violent as we are. The only difference is we had guns. Okay, that's the only difference. We won because we had the better weaponry. That's it. That's the only reason. I'm tired of people being like, "We stole their land." We kind of took it. We kind of took it. We didn't steal it. We were like, we came up like King Kong ain't got nothing on me, bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and how the white people got guns in the first place has always been weird to me because, like, the Chinese invented that, and the Chinese didn't take over the world is the craziest part. They're still here. The Chinese are still here, but they didn't take over the world when they invented the gun.
Maybe they just didn't feel like it.
They were taking. The Chinese are the second most violent group of people in the world next to white people.
True. Hey, I was
You know
gonna
what I mean? You
say,
got Genghis Khan and all that. The
You
Mongol.
mentioned, oh yeah, Genghis Khan. He was something else. But you know, they say that Genghis Khan actually like dropped like oxygen levels in the world with how many
Carbon
people he
footprint
killed.
was different from
Yeah,
when
the
he was
carbon
born to when
footprint.
there was less carbon dioxide given off in the air before he was born than when he died because of how many people he killed. And not
Yeah,
only that, but
that is pretty crazy.
he had so many children, and I don't want to use the R word, the specific R word, but that they say 33% of men in the entire world are related to Genghis Khan, including me.
Oh my god. How do you
Yep.
know that?
Because my cheeks get rosy red when I drink, and that's specifically an Asian descent thing.
So
And the
you
only
want to know
reason I would be
something?
related to somebody Asian is Genghis Khan.
Do you want to know something?
What?
I was thinking about doing like one of those DNA tests, like one of those 23andMe, because I've always been like really
You know, if
interested.
you use that, they save that into a database and give it to the government, right?
Well,
So
you
that
want to
way,
know
if you
something?
murder somebody, they'll have your information,
Well, you want to know something? I'm not
or if
really.
you commit any kind of crime at all. So
I'm
you're
not
not
really.
planning to, but what happens when you comes down through it, bro? You might need to one day. You never
I'm,
know.
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I'm too lazy to ever commit a crime, let alone cover it up.
But you
I'm not
never know.
covering up
You may be a
shit. I
different
do
person in
know.
a decade.
I do know. And honestly, I don't give a fuck. I would never kill somebody. I would never commit a crime. Like I'm trying to go to
You won't be
college. I'm
allowed
not
to
taking.
if you do
I don't
if you do
really like.
23andMe.
I don't know
Just
if I told you.
saying, don't fuck yourself up now or in the future just because you want to know something now. Okay, just
Wait, let
never.
me
You
tell
never
you
know.
something. I don't really like
What if the
ghetto
government's trying to track
people.
you
I
down
don't
by your
really
DNA
like.
or whatever? What happens if you just have to go into hiding because, like, I don't know, we get like some kind of like Hitler-esque fucking president, and they're trying to go after all the fucking children that got brown eyes, or what, all the women that got brown eyes, and they're persecuting them. What happens? You never know. And they gotta you're wearing contacts, but they got it in your DNA that you got brown eyes or whatever. You never know. You never know.
You never know,
Don't
but I'm
fuck
gonna do
yourself.
it. I'm gonna do it.
Don't give your DNA to people.
I'm gonna do it. I want to know. I'm curious. I would like to know. I want to know. No, because then well, no, I was gonna say if I know, then you know, but I forgot you got a different dad.
Yeah,
You
we
wouldn't
have
really.
to.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
No, like I didn't even take a DNA test for Jack. They uh because of the whole situation with the child support and everything, they were like, well, if you don't want to pay child support, you can opt to have a DNA test. If it comes back, um, you don't, you like if it comes back and he's not your kid, you don't have to pay child support. I was like, I just pay the child support. Look at him. He looks just, this is a waste of time.
Yeah,
Like,
there is no point of a DNA test. Like it
yeah,
doesn't even matter. Like,
he
but
looks
yeah,
just
no,
like me. Come on.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm probably gonna show you the results because I really want to know. Like I've always been curious about it, so I'm gonna do it.
All right. Why?
Because we've heard a lot about what we have, like you said earlier, like, oh, we're Native American, but like, are we really? Because it's only what we've really been told.
Look at your grandmother.
Well, I know, I get it. Like, I get it. But like, I really want to know, because like we've been told a lot of things, like, like our father's German and mom's got some Jewish in her, and like there's all like she's
No, our
told.
grandmother Kathy, she looks Apache. We're legitimately related to the Apaches. Ironically enough,
Maybe I want to
like I
know
was
how
bringing up
much.
earlier.
Maybe I want to know how much. Like if I have
Yeah,
enough.
she was at least half. At
If I
least
have enough.
that makes you maybe an eighth
If I have enough,
minimum.
maybe I could go to college for free. How much they do that for?
Mm-hmm.
How much you gotta be? Like, there's a person. I want to know. I want to know how fucking much. Like, I want to know the shit. So I'm gonna do it. Probably gonna tell you the result. I looked it up. It's like 50,
How
60 bucks.
much Native American blood do I have to get a scholarship? You have to be a quarter Native American.
So a fourth.
You're probably not going to qualify.
Probably not. Hey, but you never fucking know. Like, we could find the fuck out. I'm gonna find the fuck out. For real. See if I'm related to like any famous fucking people. You know what I'm
That's so
saying?
dumb. They're just giving scholarships out just because you were born a certain color. I'm like, y'all are perpetuating racism.
No, because we stole their fucking lands and their culture, and we felt bad.
They had spears, we had guns. I've said this. You win or you lose. Winning is winning. Does not matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. And I think that's where we're going to top that off for the night.
All right. This was a good talk.
Hell yeah. Anything you want to mention or anything like that?
No, that pretty much covered it. Like I said, I'm going to buy a DNA test. It's like $50-$60. I'm going to see what I got to do. See how long it takes to get there. Probably, if I got enough money for it. And I've been wanting it a while, so I'm going to see how long it takes. It'll probably take like a few weeks if they're going to test it, you know. So probably be a few more episodes till then. But I'm excited. I want to know.
Take the test on the show.
Okay, I'll do that. You like spit in it.
Show. Oh, well, don't do all that, but like at least show all your stuff before you send it off.
All the stuff that it comes. Yeah, I'll show like an unboxing kind of. Yeah,
we'll do that. So whenever you get it, we'll just do it on the show.
Sounds good.
Please check us out every Saturday about this time. Appreciate you guys. Every other Saturday, you can catch me and my son make whatever on every other weekend meals. Every other Monday and every other Wednesday, I have Last Minute History and Sketched Out. And then every Tuesday, which is my bread and butter, ironically, is... What is it called again? Oh, Hammered and Cheese, guys, where I get drunk and try to cook. We're going to do probably some chili this week because it's going to be summertime, but it is going to rain. So chili it is. Peace out, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.